Most habit advice fails because it ignores reality. We all know this perfect routine: 5 a.m., ice bath, green juices, journaling. It sounds badass. But if my whole life has to revolve around those habits just to feel good, I will fail. Your habits shouldn't be a second job. They should be an upgrade to your identity. And today I'm sharing 10 habit upgrades that change your well-being significantly. There is much advice on habit stacking, like after I brush my teeth, I will journal for 10 minutes. But why? I'm in the bathroom, I'm tired, I need to pee or poop. My journal is in the other room, it just doesn't make sense. So instead, we are building on what already exists, just tweaking it a little. Also, I want to add that this is a list of habits that I do daily, but it took over 10 years to condition myself to really follow through. So don't force yourself to start all 10 at once. Just find one thing that sparks your interest. Start with that. Repeat, fail, recommit. That's how it works. Habit 1. I upgraded my sweatpants and my self-worth followed. For as long as I can remember, the second I came home from school or from meeting friends, my mother would shout from the other room, "Have you changed your clothes yet? Take off the nice things." Therefore, I would change into something old and run down, technically wearable, but looking like a bum. And I kept this habit until recently. But then COVID happened. I started working online and there was no going out anymore. And one day I passed a mirror in the hallway and who's this person looking back at me? She's like a depressed, dirty gray mouse. I realized I only wore good clothes when I left home, doing something outside. But when I was at home, I was only worth the trashy ones. And the reason I tell you this story is clothes literally sit on our nervous system. If you treat yourself like a bum when nobody is watching, your mind registers that as your true identity. Okay, so now what? Level up your home clothes. And I'm not saying to wear a suit when you're watching Netflix, but maybe a nice cashmere shirt or a silky gown, or the neon raver sweatpants. Something that actually feels good and lights you up. I even started randomly putting on makeup at home, like glitter or crazy lipstick, fun accessories, just for the hell of it. Not for others, but to tell my brain that my home alone version is worth the effort. And there is even a psychological term for that called enclothed cognition, which means that the clothes you are wearing actually influence brain processes and how you value and perceive yourself. Got it? Okay, habit 2 is, what if your gratitude practice is actually shrinking your life? We all have heard that gratitude is a valuable must-have habit. But here is the truth no one talks about. Some people use gratitude to stomach a life that they have outgrown. If you have to tell yourself, I should be grateful for this job, while you actually hate it, that is not gratitude, that is not expansive. That is self-abandonment dressed up as toxic positivity. Therefore, if your gratitude practice doesn't leave room for your desires, you're actually teaching yourself how to settle. So my habit is to practice present and future gratitude every night with my partner. Before sleeping, we each say phrases using the format, I am grateful for that because of this. But then we add one thing that we intend to achieve as if it's already there. So I am grateful for my current job because it lets me pay my bills and put delicious food on the table. And I am grateful for this job that has an impact because I can live my values and help people. You're teaching yourself that this thing is already on its way and you don't use gratitude as a coping mechanism for a life you hate. Gratitude shouldn't be an anchor to your past. It should be a stabilizer while you step into the future. Habit number 3 is I reprogram my identity every morning before my brain even wakes up. The first thing I do when I wake up, even when I'm still super sleepy, is reaching for my headphones and putting on a 10-minute hypnosis. I use a downloaded MP3 file with a shortcut right on my home screen. No apps, no YouTube. The reason this is so effective is when you are in this half-asleep state, your brain is in theta waves, a state where your conscious gatekeeper is offline and your subconscious is wide open to reprogramming. And that is why I love hypnosis. Unlike the popular meditation, where you should be present and let your thoughts pass like clouds, it's actually good when you are half asleep while doing hypnosis. And my personal hypnosis in the morning focuses entirely on the identity that I want to embody. It's about meeting and stepping into my future self. But you can search for any kind of hypnosis that focuses on the topic that is important to you right now. You are literally reprogramming the software of your mind before the day has any chance to mess with it. Habit number 4, most people don't skip workouts. They negotiate themselves out of it. I've worked out consistently since I was 19, and the hardest and most annoying part often wasn't the workout, but negotiating with myself. I would spend over 20 minutes skipping through videos, scrolling around, and by the time I picked a video, my motivation was gone and I was hungry. So over the years, I created a fixed, flexible system. So now every day in the morning, I run through my internal filters. How much time do I actually have? Is it hair wash day? How do my joints feel? What is my energy level? Not my, oh, I'm too lazy level, but my real capacity right now. And based on the answers, I have my go-to channels for calisthenics, HIIT, Pilates, dancing. And that's the secret. When I'm too overwhelmed to even run the filters, I have a foolproof set workout. A low to medium intensity full body workout for 15 minutes. I don't think, I don't negotiate, I just press play and do this thing. Habit 5 is upgrading the hydrating. Drink more water is the most common advice on earth, right? And yet we all struggle with it. But the problem isn't the water, it's the friction. For me personally, this 8 glasses a day rule doesn't work because I don't like drinking out of glasses. Therefore, I stopped forcing it and drink out of bottles or huge teacups with one non-negotiable rule: no empty containers. If the bottle or the cup is empty, I must fill it immediately. Because when there is water in my line of sight, I will drink it. And if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. But then, if I realize I have been sitting around and feel totally dehydrated, I have the 21 sips rule. I take my bottle and drink exactly 21 sips. And my upgrade to that upgrade is I tell myself a positive word each time I swallow. Health, beauty, abundance, love. Therefore, you aren't just hydrating yourselves, you're essentially watering your mindset. Habit number 6 is massage the fear away. Oh, is this a wrinkle? Or maybe I need filler? Or just a better Instagram filter? I refuse to accept feeling helpless about my own face. This idea that only beauty products and surgeries keep me from aging ugly. So every night I do 10 to 30 minutes of face massage and lymph drainage. I actually paid for a course to have a system and keep myself committed. Through that course and my own experience, I learned that ugly aging is mostly tension that I have in my face, in my jaw, in my scalp, in my neck, and bad posture. And this isn't some new age face yoga thing, because I was reminded of my grandmother after she beat cancer that she had in her mouth. 2 times a week, a nurse would come to do lymph drainage and massage her face to help her body get rid of the toxins. But why wait until I'm sick to pay a professional to do something, or why inject my body with toxins? Of course, everybody can do whatever they want with their body, and I respect that. But for me, I wanted to reclaim my agency and self-efficacy by taking my beauty and health into my strong little fingers. And habit 7 is, let's be real, ain't nobody got time to journal. I could never stick to journaling in books or at specific times of the day. I would have these eureka, best idea moments, and then they would just vanish. Or even worse, I would write them down in emails or note apps or send them to somebody. But then I realized the laziest solution is already in my hand, and I already have the habit of using it. Introducing the chat with myself. Did you know that you can have a chat with yourself in all of the messenger apps? For me, that's way easier than any note app. And important, if I have an idea, I don't send just a voice message, but I use the voice to text option. So I dictate my ideas and make my thoughts thus searchable. And I also post screenshots, links, whatever I find, photos, or just voice-to-text brain dumps. Most people save their stuff in their respective apps by creating playlists or bookmarks or using note apps. But imagine you could centralize your internal monologue in one chat. Habit number 8 is the best posture is the next posture. Most of us spend at least 8 hours a day slouching over a laptop. Therefore, we all heard this advice: sit straight. But honestly, that's way too still. The human animal was never meant to be a statue. Your body was designed to move. And that's actually a rule from physical therapy. The best posture is the next posture. It means no single position, even being perfectly ballerina straight, is healthy if you do it for too long. The real health benefit comes from constant transitions between positions. Since I don't have a fancy treadmill desk yet, I put a chair on my table so that I can work while standing. And when I'm tired of standing, I don't just sit down for the rest of the time, but I sometimes kneel on my chair, or I squat, or I sit cross-legged. Switch it up as often as possible, because a static body leads to a static mind. Lazy habit number 9 is I sleep and let my brain evolve. When I am finally ready to sleep and lying in my bed, I put on a deep sleep hypnosis, aloud, no headphones, at the exact same volume every single night. I found a few channels that have amazing 1 to 3 hour long deep sleep hypnosis on topics like health, abundance, or self-worth. And I stay with the same audio for about 6 months. The reason I don't switch it up is neuroplasticity. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine. So for the first few times when you play that hypnosis, your conscious gatekeeper is judging everything. But by night 50 or so, the suggestions bypass your prefrontal cortex, your critical mind, and go straight to the core, forming new neural pathways. And here's my little trick for YouTube ads. I post the link to that deep sleep hypnosis into my chat with myself on WhatsApp, for example. But I don't click the link to open the app. I just click the play button to open the small preview window. Then there are no ads, and when the video is over, the screen just turns off. And thus you are getting about 3 hours of identity shifting work done while you sleep. And habit number 10, I deconditioned my phone habit in the laziest way possible. And I'm not going to tell you to put your phone into the kitchen safe, because that's way too hard. Instead, I want you to decondition the moments when you are addicted to this dopamine hit. The toilet, mealtime, before sleeping. My secret is I put my phone on black and white the moment I find myself scrolling. I've programmed a shortcut so that if I click the side button 3 times, the colors just vanish. Because your brain craves dopamine from visual variety. It wants all the bling bling, the crazy colors, the news flashes. But when the screen is gray, it's boring. There is no reward for our eyes. So you can still scroll if you want to, but do it in grayscale. Thanks for watching all 10 habits. And if you have some other fancy upgrades, please share it in the comments. I'm always looking for ways to level up my own systems. I really appreciate your support. Bye and see you in the next video.